Hey YouTube, it's Alan. I wanted to kind of add something to the video that I posted just yesterday about transitioning amidst uncertainty. Because I was thinking, I wondered if some people might perceive that video as me saying, like, oh, just transition. Even like you may not be able to be 100% certain. Just do it already. And I do not mean to come off like that because I think that would be kind of hypocritical since, as I said, it took me so many years of inner searching to decide to transition. So, um, I think you you've got to just transition when you feel somewhat ready for it. And if you're just not ready, you're not ready. And that's how it is. That's how it was for me for a long time. Um, Sometimes, maybe from an outsider's perspective, it would make total sense for you to transition right now. Um, but if you're not ready for it, then that's how it is. Even if all signs point to you transitioning, you don't need to do it right now if you don't feel ready, because it is a big thing, and sometimes even if you do feel somewhat certain about the need to transition, like maybe you just need some time to kind of mentally digest that, so to speak. Um, adjust your mind, adjust your life, or whatever. And that's legitimate. So, um, it's easy for me to say now that I have been on T for 2 years and I feel good about it. It's easy for me to say, like, oh yeah, I can't believe I didn't do it sooner. Like, I was just thinking myself in circles and it was kind of pointless. It's easy to say that, um, but I just had to go through my process. Everybody has to go through their process, even if some are much longer than others. You just have to do your own thing because everybody's experience is different. Um, and, I think there's some value to not rushing into something. Um, I mean, I've had various life decisions where maybe I went about it more slowly than you might think would be ideal. Um, and it actually turned out okay. I don't know, everybody has their own pace. And, actually, one person commented on one of my videos that they thought that maybe I seem to be doing better mentally in some ways at this point in my transition because I had waited a long time or been thinking about it for a long time before actually taking action. Um, like maybe I seemed more, I don't know, adjusted or in a better emotional place or like less stressed out or something than some people who transitioned like right away as soon as they started to feel kind of trans. And I hadn't thought of that before that person wrote that comment. And I think that makes sense that maybe me taking so much time just to kind of think things through and let my mind and my emotional self kind of catch up and adjust before I actually transitioned and to really like mentally process the whole thing. Um, yeah, I can see how that may have put me in a better situation now. 'Cause, if I had decided to transition sooner, if I had kind of jumped into it before I felt ready to the extent that I did when I actually transitioned, um, I I might have been more anxious or scared or freaked out. Maybe I would have doubted myself more even after starting tea. Um, and, I think part of what I said or hinted at, or like a subtext in this last video that I made about uncertainty, is that um, it was this long time period of thinking, waiting, that actually helped me to feel more confident when I did actually decide to transition. Back then I said to myself, like, well, if you've been watching trans guys' videos for so many years, maybe that actually means something, and maybe it's not just going to go away. And actually, I don't think that I put it in those exact words in that video, which I should have, because that's what I thought at the time when I was deciding to transition. If you've been thinking about it for so many years and tried to not think about it, like tried to stop watching YouTube videos and so forth, and it didn't go away, then it's probably not going to go away ever. So maybe that means you should transition. Um, so, in fact, it was those years of sort of waiting and thinking and pondering everything that gave me that confidence to say, like, well, I feel kind of certain now that my feelings are not a phase of any kind and that it's not going to just go away. So I might not have gotten to that point of confidence, basically, if I hadn't sort of waited, so to speak. Um, so my point here is that I am not saying that anybody should rush into transition, like give yourself time you need, even if it seems like a really long time. You need what you need. And, I am certainly the last person who should be saying, like, oh, just do it, because that's not what I did. um, and, sometimes waiting, or whatever you want to call it, can maybe be good in that it can make you have a better time of it, or an easier time of it in some sense, once you actually do start transition. So, um, yeah, you just have to do your own thing, really. And you have to just go by your own feelings, your own intuition, because everybody's feelings are different. I do not think that any two trans people have the exact same feelings or experiences or intuitions. So, no matter how many YouTube videos you watch or no matter how many people you talk to, that's not gonna give you the ultimate answers. Like watching YouTube videos was a huge, huge, significant thing for me that really did help me a lot in a variety of ways. But, as I explained in my video, The Shadow, um, it was really just my own personal experience, my like inner experience that ultimately led me to transition. So, I mean, looking outside yourself to other people can really be hugely helpful in a lot of ways, but it's really just listening to your own self that is what will ultimately help you figure out what to do. So, nobody's story that you listen to is going to be exactly like yours. So, you've got to be aware of that. Um, yeah. So I just wanted to make sure that I add this after that video yesterday. Um, so, there you go. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.